Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the User Hectic Podcast with me, your host Justin Freeburn, and my co-host Mr.
Soupy Campbell.
Lovely. Got it right this time. On this week's episode, we will expose the comedy situation. I fucking we're just straight into it. What's the crack with you,
Just
bro?
vibing, fuck all, man. Absolutely fuck all. I'm on a fucking generational run of podcasts at the minute. Like.
Oh yeah, you are.
Here, short back on what's happening.
It was
4
like-
brothers. What else do you want?
There's been like 2 biblical levels of podcast come ups. It was like Kieran Bartlett, then you know. Where it was like, where you were like, who the fuck's this guy in Shane Todd's podcast?
Yeah.
And now he's like, you know what, the SSE 5 times a year. Now you're like, who the fuck's this guy on User Hack?
Yeah.
Short back and what's happening?
But it's one of them ones where that's what we were saying when the camera was off, just like, I'm remembering a story, or I'm telling the story as I remember it, or sorry, what am I trying to say here? Yeah, as I'm remembering the story, I'm telling it. So we were saying about like how fast I speak and shit, where I'm just like throwing the words out, and that's literally, I have no choice but to get them out or else I forget it, But it's mad because I had a couple of stories I told on the 4 Brothers podcast, which shout out to those guys, by the way, fucking sound as fuck, great
yeah,
crack and
they're
all.
cool, dude. Imagine we're both like literally they've had like me, Darren Matthews and you on.
Yeah.
That's literally the 3 guests.
Yeah.
For playing them.
Yeah, no, it's good shit, man. Yeah, and they started last August or something, I think, but they're really picking up now. And the quality and all is brilliant. Like it's well produced and all.
They're holding, at least you got the set. I sat in the granny's living room, like
yeah.
I sat in the couches that when you sat down, them smoke came out of it.
But yeah, so I was telling a couple of stories there, and then I was driving home from the place that they are. I don't know if they're still doing that, but whatever.
2 mile outside of the asshole in New York.
Yeah. The gooch, like. But so I was driving home and I was like, oh my god, I forgot to tell this one, where I'm like, fuck's sake, and it's raging. I'm like, there's plenty more podcasts in the future, it's alright.
Oh, aye, you're here now.
Yeah, certainly.
What do you remember any of the stories that you were to talk about? Or?
See, the thing is as well, I was like, I'll probably tell them on our podcast, but it needs to happen naturally. It can't just be like
instead of me going, tell us something funny.
yeah,
Get us an all clip.
Poke me with a stick, like. But no,
Get the land to roar.
But no, it was more, they were talking about mushrooms and stuff, like, and just with my limited sort of knowledge on them or experience with them, Amsterdam and shit, like, I was just telling a couple of funny stories, but I forgot a couple of them. But it's one of them ones where it sort of has to happen in the flow of it, you know what I mean? But that's what's weird about storytelling, even when I'm on stage or whatever, and I'm just like, I maybe go off script a tiny bit, and next thing you know, I'm into this new thing that I'm just making up on the spot or remembering, and I'm like, holy fuck. And then it's hard to recreate the magic, like, you know what I mean?
You start off telling a wee story about, like, like your brother doing something fun.
Yeah.
He shit in the fucking urinal one time.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the next thing you know, you're breaking down like the Russian Cold War.
Yeah.
Like,
my brother did shit himself one time I swear to God, in school. So he's like 4 years older than me, and our primary school, like, the old one, like, it's rebuilt now or whatever, but the old one was just a dump, like, the way the toilet smelled like piss, it smelled like that in, like, the maths class, right? But I walked into the bathroom and he was there and he was standing, he was just all like hunched over and all. I see something wrong. I was like, what's wrong with you? He just sort of looked at me. I just went, intestines. He went, yeah. That was me asking, did he shit himself in front of people? But, like, it makes no sense. Yeah. But I must have been about, like, maybe 5 or something, when he was like, what the fuck, 9 or some shit. But
oh, so you were young. I thought this was gonna be like fucking.
No, we were primary school, like, his last week.
I was
like,
18, he was 23.
Yeah. No, he did shit himself on his 18th birthday, though. I allowed him for that. But he was down in the pit, which is our local, like, well, I mean, local enough, like, it's far enough away, but whatever.
Yeah.
And he was sculling pints, and obviously the boys were like buying a load of drinks and all, and then he went in, he thought he was going to be sick, and it was the other orifice that had come out, and he was just like, he just fucking shit his cacks, just had to walk home. But he walked home, but he was like, he was doing the fucking
it's like when people let off the rocket launchers backwards. You
ever
see them? And they're like, what the fuck was that? Small school behind them exploded.
Fuck, I was going for the large school. I'll take it.
He's aiming for the hospital. Jesus, what are we like?
But yeah, so we walked home the whole way. Like, what do you call that shit when you dance under the stick, under the big fucking
limbo?
The limbo. He said the limbo the whole way home. And I remember saying to him, like, why are you walking?
The limbo shits are bad, like, aren't they? Like, you don't want to be having the limbo shits.
But I go to him because I hadn't drank at this stage, and I was like, why are you walking like that? And he was like, I was just steaming. I was like, but why like that? I've seen people walk before, and if anything, they're stumbling forward. Like,
he's trying to create like a bag with his boxers, so that, like, the shit gets held in it, and if he stands upright, it's straight down to the trouser leg. Like, so, I know his pain, Like,
but he said it felt like someone was like an entity was just pushing his chest, and he couldn't walk past it, so he's just walking the whole way up the road to God. But then a few years
Was there
later,
pharmaceuticals induced?
no,
shit?
nothing. Is it? Like
Jesus.
just steaming, like, and I remember I didn't understand it. And then a few years later, I had
He's walking like he's looking for planes. Like,
chemtrails. But he
747.
I had my first carry out a few years later, and I was steaming. I remember sitting watching. There was a Vodafone advert on with all the wee bees in it. And I remember freaking out, being like, "What are they thinking?" and then I got up.
They know about us. They know.
It's like pigeons are government spies, like. But
Australians aren't real. We'll touch on that as well.
but yeah, so and then I was steaming and he was in the living room and I went out to the kitchen to be sick and he's like, "You need to go home." And I was like, "Yep." And I was like too young to be drinking, sort of thing. And he was sort of fair play to him, calling up and touted on me and shit, but he didn't. He kept it all sweet. And then I just walked the whole way up the road, just with my chest being pushed backwards. I was like, "Is this a genetic thing or what the fuck's going on?" Yeah, I shit myself 2 patty says in a row. Did I ever tell you that story? No, 2 in a row.
You're like, we're going to go for the third.
Oh
now.
yeah, 1 off the 3 Pete. Like, but
it's funny. It was like, I shit myself last year, and it's St. Patrick's Day soon, isn't it? Yeah, 2 years in a row, shit myself.
Yeah, this Sunday we can only hope. But no, I was drinking with my cousins and all in the town, and then having like wee cheeky carry, you know, like a bottle of green Cactus Jack, like staying on brand. Yeah. Steaming, and then my mom picked me up at 9 o'clock, and I was trying to like obviously act all sober and shit in the car, and then they text me and said they were at the McDonald's, and I was like, "I'll be there." But I was on the toilet, right, like trying to shit, right, and I was like, "I'll go play a bit of Xbox, go home." And then they text me like SMS message, this how long ago it was, and was like, "We're going to McDonald's here, we're walking down, and McDonald's isn't too far away from me." So I was like, "Yeah, fuck, I'll meet you there." So walked halfway down the road, and got to like the dual carriageway to McDonald's, and I was like, "I'm going to shit myself," because I stood off from the toilet in excitement of the potential of a double cheeseburger, and and walked down
shit himself over a wee bit, like a dog. The dog's like mid shit, and you're like, walk.
Come on. Like,
and it's just like fucking have 2 tails now, you know.
There was a dog around our way that there was a shit hanging out of its arse for weeks and it was turning green and all. I swear to God, there was something wrong. And you remember being like, "You'll just pull it out," and he was like, "No." But I don't know, he said the dog was sick or something. But anyway, right, so walked down the dual carriageway, I was like, I just needed to drop trowel, like, right? So I went up into like the wee bushes and all, and I remember thinking I was out of sight, and then a load of cars were going past honking. I was obviously just visibly taking a shit through the carriageway, like. And then I remember going back, being like, "That's me," like, you know, had to go home, like, you know, I was like, "That's me," like, went back to the house, all good, grand, had a laugh about it. The next year, drank with my cousins again in the town. My mom didn't know. Apologies, probably the first time she's fucking finding this out if she's listening, but the second year then I wasn't of drinking age, like, you know, same again, had a carry out, went back to the house, and I was like, right, happy days. And then the boys text me, like boys from around my way, and we're like, "Oh, we're down in Lee's house here having a carry out, do you want to come down?" And I was like, "Yes, sweet." So I was like, fuck it, it's Lee's house, it's only down the road, I'll go down. Got halfway down, there's an abandoned meat factory. I was like, "Oh, I need a shit right now." And then just went and just like,
you're like, if anything's going to mask the smell of this shit, you know, like,
yeah, but it was abandoned too, like, so
like no truffle pigs going on here, like, you know.
So went in there, dropped trow, took a shite, and it didn't.
Dropped some fucking heinous river lizards, man. Fucking.
And then just back over to the house. But yeah, I shit myself 2 patty says in a row, like, not ways. But like, and that was my night over 2 times in a row too. Like,
that's like, yeah, the version of shitting yourself that is just you can't wipe. Whereas,
yeah,
like, have you ever had like a shit where you're like, "Oh shit, this is in the trough, like this is." Like, this is, it's been contained, you know, like, no one will find this until I get home. You know, like.
Yeah, and the person finding it will be me. No, man, see those wipes. I actually heard Kieran Bartlett describe it on a podcast recently. It's like, you're wiping the top of a painter's brush, but like with paint on, it's just never ending. Like, oh man, my mate has a pile at the minute. It's not Armacan, but he has a pile at the minute. A pile, yeah,
don't fucking lock them.
But I think he's only got one, which is mad. It's like a fucking Pokemon or something, I don't know.
Single pile.
But he sent me a photo the other day on Snapchat, and just absolute, it looked like an abortion on his fucking, in a bog roll, like.
Oh, what, like,
just was wiping his hole, obviously bust or something, you know what I mean?
Oh my God,
it's
holy
disgusting.
fuck.
It's fucking rotten. I was like, send me a video. I didn't, just tramps.
Oh, that's
yeah.
fucking wild.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah,
Nah,
two guys at the podcast. Right, I shit myself.
Mom burst a grape, you know. Fucking,
Yeah, it was disgusting. Like, but he loves it. He'll be like, he's excited to tell me about his piles and all. He's just trump like.
I said, oh fuck me, Jesus Christ! Like I'm not like fucking judging anyone.
Oh no, yeah, do.
Easily come about. It's the fucking.
Oh, he showed it off. Like,
oh,
he was,
base, watch this.
What he says here. I remember
Holding it up like the fucking guy at the Lion King. You know, like,
I remember when Snapchat first came about.
wiping it on your forehead. Simba.
Ash Wednesday. Pile Wednesday.
Arsehole Wednesday.
But so yeah, when Snapchat first came about, I remember like a few of the boys. I hadn't got Snapchat at this stage. I think I didn't have a phone that supported it. Right, just right. I remember people being like, "Yeah, fucking." We'll use the name David again. David's fucking sending me videos of him shitting. I'm like, what do you mean him shitting? Like, just on the toilet? He's like, no. Anus wide, like, and it was someone saved it one time and showed me it, and I swear to God, you could have got a tin of Coke off it. I mean, like the old tins of Coke, you know, with the girth, like
the wide ones.
Yeah. But there's nothing like, and that's disgusting. And no matter what way you think about it, also hilarious. Like, there's nothing funnier than we poop. Like,
oh yeah, this is the whole thing. You know, you get like alternative acts and all. They're like, all they're gonna tell is fart jokes, and you're like, yeah.
Oh yeah, because that's what works, man.
First ever set was about me having a ghost wipe, and it just never ended. Second ever set was me talking about how I went vegan for 2 weeks, and I'm still wiping my hole from it. It was 3 years ago. You know, it's funny because you're like literally, you know,
you've got the fucking paintbrush up Picasso hole.
With the amount of animals you're saving by eating vegan, you're cutting down twice as many trees, wiping your hole. You know, so, but it was a good bit. I'm bringing that back. Won't get a laugh anywhere. Like, but yeah, fuck. I remember my boss in my first ever job telling me he had piles. I was 16.
Mad.
Mom was telling me about his asshole. Mom was in his 30s. And he was he was a weird dude.
I was going to say his name was, doesn't matter.
He lives around the corner from me.
David.
My mom's convinced he's dead. I don't know why. My mom was like, man, I think he killed himself. And I was like, what? And I was like, I seen him like 2 weeks ago. She was like, oh, maybe it wasn't him then. I was like, my ma just loves telling you who's out of the figs, you know. But he was like sitting down. He was like off work for like a day. He was like, oh, I was at a doctor's appointment. And I was like, oh, really? Everything all good? Me, 16, just trying to fit in with the
passing, like, yeah.
And he went, oh, yeah, wild piles. And I was like, what do you mean? Like piles? Like you fucking eat loads of like whatever you've got there? You know, like
yeah, piles of problems.
Yeah. I was like, oh, really? A load of multiple things? Oh, he was like, no, mate, no. And he like stood up and he was sitting on like a wee donut. And I was like, you pregnant? I was like, what the fuck? He was like, no. He's like, no. And then my other boss, I had like 3 bosses. They were all like, it was like their business, but they like, I was just like on like paid placement, you know.
Yeah.
And he turned around, one of them turned around and went, imagine, right, you shit a bunch of grapes. And I was like, oh,
rabbit shits. Like,
I've never like been the same since that.
Yeah, no.
I think that fucked my whole life trajectory. You know, I was going well before that. I was going to study to become like a fucking youth leader and all. Taught me about his piles, and I was like, comedian.
That's the trauma, man. Yeah. But I was gonna say, man, if he showed you his piles, it would have been nuts. Like,
oh yeah, fuck me. That guy was weird, man. He used
when David wants to party. What is supposed to say? What's the Cat Williams said?
You sometimes you gotta tell David no. But yeah. Oh, it was fucking weird. I remember like at all the different like, you know, like youth projects and stuff. He used to wear clothes, like, you know, like costumes and all on stage.
Yeah.
The man had the biggest ball sack I've ever seen in my entire life.
Like Simon from the In-Betweeners, like.
Oh, mate, like fucking, like when you were watching, he put on like a spacesuit, you know, like a onesie type thing.
Yeah.
And like the guy beside him was maybe like an 18-year-old wee lad, skinny and good neck and all, you know.
Yeah.
Like standing next to him, and the guy is like a fully grown man body, and his balls are like fucking they've their own orbit, you know, like it's just 3 kids' heads, just fucking vile, man. I remember it was the biggest ball sack I've ever seen. Cunt crosses his legs and kills himself, you know, like
that's probably what happened.
Fucking the amount of blood would come out of him is like a big Sports Direct mug, you know.
Maybe the piles is just his balls trying to escape, like it's coming out the back.
The piles weren't as big, like fucking hell. Oh mate, I don't know. I dread it, and it's coming. It comes for everyone, you know. Fucking, you know.
One of my mates has a humongous ball singular. Like, I mean, one of them, it is not ways. It's like, no, that's
the all one doing.
It's rival. But
it's like when you get twins and one of them goes to the gym. The other one's just like, lad, I just smoke a bit of weed.
Just chilling on the dole and all that. Scrotum dole.
The
Like.
other one has 3 kids and a wife.
But yeah, one of them's massive. It's like those cartoon big massive like 1 ton weights that fall down on top of people.
Like,
Like
anvil things.
yeah, anvil, yeah. One of them's like an anvil, I swear to God.
Jesus.
But yeah, massive ball, man.
Yeah, the old producer of this podcast had massive balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking again, but like each nut was like a chicken breast. You know, like, it was like that size each nut. You know, and you were like, bro, you need to wear baggier trousers or something,
yeah.
or tighter something. You know,
yeah.
like
Sort that out. Whatever is going on there, just sort it out.
it's why I feel like you listen to this and feel proud of that.
Yeah, I'm on toe taps on
Haven't
about
spoken
like.
6 months, but like, you know,
Yeah. Listen, you got big
he used to
balls. Like,
fucking
that's it.
carry his balls in the bed via trolley. You know,
It's
like
like that episode of
kicking
South
them up the
Park.
stairs. Yeah,
He's got them in the wheelbarrow.
mate. Oh fucking, I love Randy. Like, what's your favorite South Park episode?
Man, I'm not even a huge South Park fan.
Oh,
Like,
are you not?
I swear to God.
Oh,
I'm
no.
aware it's funny. I've just never like sat down and watched it.
Yeah.
When the movie came out, my mom was on a night out or something, so my dad was like babysitting us that night.
Yeah.
And I was quite young. It came out like 2000 or something, 2001 maybe. The 9/11 era, whenever that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I remember there was controversy about it and all, wasn't there? Because
Yeah, it
some
was
sort of
something
shit,
like that.
whatever. But yeah, so he let us watch it, and he was like, "Don't fucking tell your mom I'm letting you watch this," like, you know, because like he obviously wanted to watch it, and we
Yeah.
like rented a DVD and all. He was like, "Yeah, fuck it." And then the next day we were just eating dinner, and I just turned around to my mom and goes, "Yeah, Dad let us watch South Park last night." Just outed him for no reason,
Spouted on him.
but like unprovoked, like no negotiation, no torture methods, nothing. Like I just folded immediately. Like it's like whenever like gang members like they get a KFC, it's like, oh yeah, he told.
He snitched. Yeah.
Man,
How does he have a McDonald's and a Starbucks?
I got pecans, oven chips, and I was like, South Park last night. Anything.
He did it. He did it.
I was told I'm getting a biscuit after dinner, and I was like, right, who's getting tied on?
Did you ever watch the first Transformers movie?
No, not even bad.
There's a funny ass, like, there's 2 or 3 funny scenes in that, like actual good scenes.
Yeah.
And one of them is Bernie Mac, and
Right.
the other is your man Anthony Anderson,
Right.
the guy from Blackish.
Yeah.
Two black comedians, funny enough. And the first scene is when Bernie Mac's like trying to sell them a car, and he's like talking about his wife or his mum or something. He goes, "That's my mammy, hey mammy," and he shouts at her, and the man just the fucking woman just gives him the middle finger, and he goes, "Ah, if I had a rock, I'd bust your head, you old bitch." That's a Transformers movie. And then later on in the movie, explain the plot of Transformers. No, I'm just saying because it's related to that. The Anthony Anderson's like in the interrogation room with this woman.
Yeah.
And there's like a plate of donuts sitting in front of him, and he's just eating away at the donuts. And he's like, "You see, do you know why they left these out? I left these out because if you don't eat them, you're guilty. I had the whole fucking plate." And then like he like sits there, he's all proud of himself, and all he's like, "They know I know nothing. I don't know anything about this and all blah blah blah." He's like, "I'm fucking home free here." And they like walk into the room and they set like a file on the table, and he goes, "She did it! She did it! She's the one you want." That was you with the fucking
That's me with McCann's oven chips. Like,
yeah,
remember those
bird's eye fish fingers.
Man, as soon as you're talking about Bernie Mac, actually, do you remember in Friday where he's like the pastor?
Yeah.
And he's riding your woman across the road and all, and he's like, "Miss Parker, Miss Parker." And then but he comes over and he's like, "You know what we call drugs in 74th Street Baptist Church? We call it sin. Smokey turns around and he's like, "Well, around here, sin yamming in the West.
Twin.
Wow, and word." But that is such a fucking brilliant scene.
Yeah.
And then the wee Lewis Parker's husband is the wee guy.
He comes run chasing Bernie Mac out. That scene's
He
fucking
breaks his
genius.
window and all.
Yeah.
So good, man.
Oh, mate, it's so, like, what was your, do you have any of those? Because my guilty pleasure movies growing up was, like, the old black movies.
Yeah.
Friday, Don't Be a Menace, fucking White Chick, Scary Movie. You know?
Yeah,
Like, anything by the Wayans Bros was, like, my
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
guilty. All the Medea movies, weirdly. Now I'm, like a full-blown adult, and I'm watching all the Medea, Tyler Perry movies, I'm going, these are kyak, man. These are fucking
Yeah.
terrible. He just plays an owl doll and an owl. Funny enough, the like newest Medea one, in the middle of it, Miss Brown walks into it. Like,
As in,
Miss-
of the boys.
of the boys, yeah, via the boys.
Mrs. Brown, who is an ownership of
Yeah.
the boys.
So you're just watching this black Tyler Perry movie. They're like from fucking East Atlanta or something, you know, and they're like, you know, it's like, darling, I'm fucking, you know, I'm doing the voice class. I don't give a fuck you, it's funny. But it's sort of like Declan. But the, like, you know, know, they're all doing like they're full blown. They're all again. They're from like Georgia. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're like Southern ladies. You know, and then in the middle of it, the door drops, and there's this like wee mixed race kid in it.
Yeah.
Who's like they always bring in like a new character that you're supposed to have known. You're like, oh, that's my nephew. You know.
Yeah.
And then this wee light skinned dude walks in the middle of all these dark skinned like East Atlanteans or
Yeah.
whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, so you half white? Oh, that's crazy, you know. You're like the lightest skinned person in the family, you know. And they're like, oh yeah, I think actually my granny on my other side of the family's coming over. And you're like, oh cool. I was just watching it, going, these were better when I was younger. I
Yeah.
thought these were funny, you know. And the next thing you know, the door answers and it goes, how do? I was like, oh fuck, they've brought Miss Brown into it.
Damo.
Buster.
Yeah. What do you call? I'm down there at Winnie's house. Winnie, sad bastard of a character too. sad bastard.
That's his sister in real life.
Is it? Oh, it
Yeah.
is too. Yeah. And then Damo's the son. His son or some shit. I don't know what the fuck. Like
Damo-
Buster's the son, I think.
No,
They're all-
Damo. There's Buster. Yeah, I think it is Damo. Is this? I could be wrong there, but I feel
then-
like Damo. There is a Damo. Maybe Damo is just such a Dublin name, you know.
Yeah.
Dermo.
Damo, yeah.
Dermo.
But I think a couple of them are married and all. It's all the whole
Yeah,
clusterfuck.
like, one of the it's funny. The most hated character in the whole thing is because she's northern. You know,
Yeah.
she's from like Derry. She's
Yeah.
from like Letterkenny, and they're like that northerner high.
Yeah.
And you're like, is she? Like,
No, I actually kind of enjoyed Mrs. Brown's Boys when it first came out. I remember being like,
I rewatched it all there recently.
Yeah, it's
It
not
holds
bad.
up,
Yeah, it's not bad. But then sometimes you're like, it's very much like,
There's a lot of pub jokes. In it.
I'm an Irish mommy. Here's what I
Yeah.
do. You know,
You've heard it all before, but
It's a wee bit hack, but it's
Yeah.
still it's entertaining. I think.
yeah,
Still.
like there's a generation that love it. You know,
Yeah,
like,
my mom loves it.
Yeah,
Loves it.
you know,
Christmas special come out, we all sat down and watched it. No, she made us watch it. Sit
Yeah.
down and fucking watch it there.
I rewatched it all. Again, all pub jokes, but see when they go like off script, that's when it gets funny.
Yeah.
Because your man's like winding people up the whole way through it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Why don't you fucking sing for us?" And they're like looking at him. You know, it's so good.
But it's one of the few shows now it's filmed in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
Now, every time I think about filming in front of a live audience, I always think about the Family Guy episode where it's like, this show was filmed in front of a live pelican.
It was live ostrich.
Live ostrich.
And it goes, ha ha.
So good. But like, what I love about my dad loves Family Guy. I mean, loves Family Guy.
Oh, yeah,
I
I'm
love
the
it as
same.
well because it's
My
just
ma loves fucking Family Guy. Like, can quote every episode.
Yeah.
From 1999 right through to whatever came out last week. She'll quote it. You know?
But it's because I think Family Guy is just so stupid. Like
Yeah.
it's so funny.
It's the only one held up as
Yeah.
well. Like, it's funny from start to finish.
Yeah.
Like, I've been watching The Simpsons, and there was like 2000s maybe fucking died on its own.
Yeah, Simpsons has Alexa now. Do you see that? They be talking to Alexa and all. It's not ways.
Yeah, it's weird because they're like the same age,
Yeah.
and like, you know, you'll watch it in like the 80s, and they've got Louis Box TV and all. Then I'm watching the ones at the minute, it's like 2014,
Yeah.
and they're like flat screen, you know, fucking Homer's still driving the wee shitty car and all, like, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, he's sending videos of him shouting on Snapchat. and
yeah,
all.
it's like Lisa's ringing off her iPhone 14. You're like, what the fuck, you know, like, this is weird, but
Fucking Bart's buying crypto.
Sideshow Bob's trying to kill you via the internet, you know. It's good. No, but what is your like guilty pleasure movies growing up? Like,
I used to watch Matilda on repeat.
Matilda was a good one, yeah.
I don't know. Just had this hyperfixation for like a couple of weeks and just watched
Yeah.
it flat out. Friday was it's like one of my comfort movies. Like,
yeah, I'll
'cause
still
it's-
watch Friday.
yeah, because it's such easy watching. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Me and my mate growing up, it's easy to tell we had such an obsession with like black culture. You know, he was obsessed. Speaking of, I watched the fucking Bob Marley movie yesterday. Class,
Yeah.
so good.
I heard it was shite.
No, it's fucking great. I watched it and I was like, again, I've been a big fan of Bob Marley from I was like fucking no age.
Oh, was that what you wrote in the chat earlier saying you're speaking exclusively in Patois now?
He's like, we can't think about it.
Yeah, I read it. I was like patois, and I was like, man's like speaking exclusively in patios. Man. He's like, oh, my cousin's a joiner. He speaks in patios this year. He speaks
Like
exclusively.
Dak Chur.
Yeah, he speaks exclusively in cupboards.
But yeah, I was like, what's that Bob Marley movie? Again, that's what I mean. I was a huge Bob Marley fan my whole life, you know,
Yeah.
and read all the fucking like biographies, watched all like the documentaries and all. just listen to the albums my whole life, know every word to every song. And all. It's so weird, just a wee white ginger guy, and I don't even smoke weed, so I'm like, I'm just like, don't worry. It's weird. It's hard to try and make friends in school when your favorite album's Exodus. Like people are like, mate, I love DJ Cammy. I'm like, the Wheelers. Do you know they started off as the Wheeling Wheelers? It's hard to make friends that way. But no, we were obsessed with like Jamaican culture and all.
Yeah.
Again, they all used to smoke weed from no age. Like they were smoking weed at like 11 and 12 and all in school and shit. It's crazy. And we used to like stay over in his house, and he had a big fucking Jamaican flag on his wall. Yeah. So smacked out.
Oh yeah.
Well, the most smacked out thing ever is to be white and love Jamaican shit.
Yeah.
And
bomber clot, hey.
I used to wear like a wee Jamaican bandana and all. There's definitely a photo of me in it somewhere.
I was obsessed with N-dubs at one stage, and I put a bandana under my hat one day, went and called for all the boys, they all laughed at me, and I went home. Swear to God. See, the wee like floppy bandana you saw at the bottom. Fuck me.
I did that until about 3 years ago. I did that until comedy. See, I did. I remember showing up to my mate's dad's house with like the bandana under the hat, and his dad answered and goes, "Who's this fucking Eminem?" And I was like, that hardened me. I was like, I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But now, culture is. It's all happening at once now. If that makes sense, where people can be whatever the fuck they want to be because everyone has access to those cultures. Like,
yeah, and I think. That's exactly the thing. Like I remember having a fucking mullet at 15 and everyone slagging me for it. No, and but like this is the whole thing. Like I grew up. Favorite comedians growing up were all black. Favorite music artists were all rappers. You know, like fucking everything. Like every influence. My favorite movies and all. My favorite movie growing up was Rush Hour.
Rush Hour is a banger. So good.
Because I loved Chris Tucker's comedy. You know, and like my and again my mum's favorite comedian growing up and all. Was Richard Pryor, so it's always been like a big influence, and like even just from my family's perspective, like black culture. So see, whenever like people seen me like dress like that or whatever, or like they would be like, that's cultural appropriation. It only came about in the last few years as well, because it was just like, you think you're black, don't you? You think you're in, and you're like, jeez, mate, But that's like like I always just like loved like the culture behind it, and like again, two white guys in the podcast. But it was just part of my life from I grew up.
Yeah, you're part of your surroundings, like
it was always just there. Like my mum still gets blocked, listens to Hobson, like she just like it's just always been there. So whenever people try and hit me with a cultural appropriation thing, I don't feel right about it because I'm like, I get what it is, what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But cultural appreciation is a bigger thing than it just so happens that the coolest culture happens to be black people.
Yeah, but I mean, white people have stolen off the black people culture and physical items for the longest time. Like, you know what I mean?
Fuck them. Like, I didn't do it.
Yeah, well,
I was like, I love your music, mate. Fucking sue me. Sue me for enjoying something they made to make money off. Yeah, and they make money off it.
Yeah, but it's one of them things where it's a lot deeper than just like what you see on the surface of it, but it's just like you like what you like so what, you know what I mean? It's just like people go about dressing like fucking pretending they're dogs and all. You bother away, man.
Yeah, but see, I mean? Like the counter argument to cultural appropriation, for example, do you ever see that video of the guy came out recently talking about how Eminem can't be the best rapper because he's not black?
Yeah, and
everyone went, well, 90 or 50% of people went, but he's just better at it than a lot of people.
Yeah,
there's obviously probably better rappers for different things, but if you're going just strictly on like wordplay and
what he done for the industry,
exactly, and all, but if you're going by that, then for example, LeBron James can't be the best basketballer. It's Kobe. No, because basketball was started by white people.
Was it? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
Like if you look it up, it's just like these fucking like middle to upper class white dudes just with mustaches being like, pass me the rock. So
I dare say.
I'm not like getting all fucking like Trump about it. I'm just saying like it's, if you don't allow cultural appropriation, you're excluding others from enjoying things,
which is kind of contradictory of your point. If you depend on how far you go, there's definitely a line there somewhere where like Tom Hanks' son speaking in patois. Like, you're like, right, bro, come on.
You know me no like no maga gal. Me like I'm taking firm. Me can't stand a white woman.
But it's there's a line across there somewhere, like, but it says it's appreciation for it as well. But that's what I was thinking, like with the whole rap thing and us rapping. It's like, you know, we're doing it.
We're touching the line of we're doing this thing that is strictly a black thing.
Yeah.
But we're doing it in our comedic way.
Yeah.
Where we're going. We're having a laugh.
Yeah.
We're not like fucking, you know, dressing in like the sheikies and like
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
you know, fucking putting up the black fist, like, you know, we're just doing this thing that's funny, you know.
Yeah, but the thing is, well, we're at what stage of, because I think it boils down to time, right? So we'll say Elvis basically stole off the black culture of that type of music, right?
Yeah.
But then now that music is predominantly white, right? And it's acceptable for white people to, you know, perform that type of music or whatever, the swing, blues, whatever the fuck it is, right? So at some stage a shift happened in the culture where it was acceptable then for white people to do it, and it wasn't seen as appropriation. It was like, oh, remember Elvis done that, but sure, here it's alright because we're doing it now. Whereas I feel like we're almost, not me and you, but like, you know, now where it's like the conversation's happening where it's like understanding that like rap originated from, to my knowledge, in New York, and it was all about like oppression, and they were growing up in the projects, all that shit, and it was like an outlet for them.
Walking out from school.
Yeah, like
Grandmaster guy looking at me.
Grandmaster Flash and what do you call Africa Mabata and stuff like that as well. But like it's
Dolomite.
like yeah, but it all came from that, and it was a reason, it was an outlet for them to express their art and all. I fucking love it. Like I love it, but now but that's just art. Like it progresses, and more and more people get included in it, and then the likes of like Eminem created a whole new style of rap that was massively popular in the 2000s, and it changed the trajectory of the genre. You know what I mean? And then you've got like
that's what like Eminem lyric that stuck with me after a while. It was like, your man, and again, I like to look at things at a fair perspective. You know, we're allowed to have a fucking conversation about it. You know, Eminem had like talked about how, I think it was Joe Budden or like fucking, you know, that guy. Someone had said, you know, oh, you're a guest in the house of hip hop. And it was like, you know, you shouldn't be a part of the culture and all. And he was like, don't tell me about the culture. And then the lyric is like, I inspired the Hobsons, the Logics, the Coles, Sean's, K-Dot, 5 9s and O's. Yeah. And then he's like, brought the world 50 Cent, you know, and you're like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, as much as like you can, you know, claim cultural appropriation there with the fact that, you know, it was, again, he grew up in it. Yeah. He grew up in a fucking trailer surrounded by black people in Detroit. Yeah. Like, so it's not really, what was he supposed to do, you know? Like,
yeah, what are you, and we're in a privileged position now where we can choose to like what you like, whereas like you grow up now, it's like, I don't know, if you want to be a rocker, you be a rocker. Like if you like rap more than that, you tend to sway towards that. Like, but it's one of them.
You have the whole internet at your fingertips.
That's what I mean. Like it's all happening at once now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So that's what I mean. Like I feel like it's hard to steal what, you know. The whole thing is cultural appropriation, and I'm like, but you know, you can go as far back and say like your guy Dr. Umar, who was like, oh, Eminem can't be the best. He's not black. And then you think, who's the best Formula One driver? Lewis Hamilton.
Well, on Verstappen, I don't watch it, but yeah.
Well, you know,
but you know, like
the best golf player in the world, fucking Tiger Woods. You know, well, I don't watch golf past like 2001.
Yeah,
so they not beat.
See, whenever the Twin Towers, that was me done with golf. that was me done with.
I wrapped it up on that.
I looked at it and goes, "That's my golf gone."
So whenever Tiger Woods brought a bit of hood to it, you know, and he was like cheating on his wife and all, and you're like, golf's cool now, like, you know.
Go on, son.
But that's what I mean. You know, LeBron James can't be the best fucking basketball player in the world. Jackie Robinson, who was like a real big influence on like black culture in baseball. Yeah, he was like the guy who, like, you know, everyone was like, no, it's only black leagues and white leagues, you know, that sort of thing. And then like the Spanish were in everything. Yeah, and I think I could be getting the history of this wrong, but Jackie Robinson was like one of the first like black players into like the big leagues. Yeah, and he literally like hit a home run on like his first go, and everyone was like looking at him going, you know, it's like that Shane Gillis bit. It's literally the Shane Gillis bit. Jackie Robinson, he's like, they're like, we talk all cool, you see, and then they see Jackie Robinson hit the ball, and they went, oh Jesus, shit, oh God, you know, you know, like, so, you know, that in that case, if you're going like that, if that's your opinion because it was started a certain way, this person can't be good at it now. Yeah, it's like, you're having a fucking you can't go by the history of it to determine who's just good at it now.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it depends on like what you do with it now. Whereas like we're not. I fully believe, like, understand and believe that like black people started rap music and that's it. They own it. They are the founders.
There's
Like
blacks and Hispanics and
yeah. But it just mean like, but now as long as you pay homage to it and you understand your place, it's work away.
That's
like,
me.
it's
You
all
do.
good.
I do get the whole. There's like that fucking weird like rich white kid energy to it nowadays.
Oh,
where,
1,000,000%. Yeah, it's but that is if you just don't listen to it then, because if it doesn't appeal to you or it doesn't hit home to you in any sort of way, then it's just not for you. But it's like
that's
anything.
what I mean. Like, as much like as I'm not black, I grew up in a shithole surrounded by drug dealers, shooting, stabbings, fucking like you can't walk out there, like you have to shit yourself every time you park your car out there. My car window was broke, like it's fucking, like it's not like I don't fully I don't relate to the whole, like fucking
the racial
black,
element to it,
but like everything else, like growing up in a fucking shithole sort of thing, I'm like, this is relatable. A lot of like rap music like I listened to growing up was about like guys.
It's what the music represents to you rather than what it is.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, I'm black, and I'm like, yeah, man, I got bullied in school, like but like that's what I mean. It's empowering. It's like it's like a nice thing. And then whenever you see people like Eminem doing it, it does bring like cultures together, because many people do think, if Eminem wasn't about, I'm not saying Eminem solved racism, but how many more people on this planet do you think would be like openly racist if Eminem didn't introduce them to like this black culture? If like you were specifically going, this is a black people thing, and white people weren't allowed to be a part of it, so he sort of opened up the door for people like me to enjoy it,
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it is. I get what you're saying about like the historical. You have to pay them their dues, and you have to say this. But we're not exactly stealing anything.
No, I'm not
nowadays.
No.
It's like different. Like again, Elvis, who was just fully like,
But that's industry related there as well, where they were just like,
these guys have no rights to their music. Take it.
So it's just like you work away about it, you're fucking.
It's just dudes in a fucking barn singing this.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do about it? You have 35 security guards around you.
Yeah, but it's one of them things. But it's just a natural progression of art. Like, but that's why I love rap music, because it's just like, for the longest time I was like, it was Biggie and Tupac, like all that, like old school or nothing. And then I like reluctantly listened to a Drake song one day, or like reluctantly liked a Drake song one day, and I was like, oh fuck, here it is. And now I'm just
back to white again.
I'm just like, oh, listen to Young Thug and all now. It's like, and you can't even understand what I'm saying, but it's like, that shit's hard. But it's just, bring it back to what we do. We are literally just taking the piss, like, and
we're
I've
not
said
claiming to be like actually at it.
No, but like I just say things that sound cool, and it's just like, but I have no bother. Like I've said in multiple podcasts now, we said multiple podcasts where it's just like, this all just sounds cool, and it just is what it is. And then, but that, like, if anything, instead of like half lying and like maybe like being like, oh, is he actually a gangster? All this shit. I'm just fully outright saying like, I'm just talking shit.
Funny shit. Like that's what me and you were like freestyling over that beat earlier.
Yeah.
Just saying the funniest shit.
Yeah.
You want people to like listen to it and go, this beat's cool, but fuck, that's funny. You know, like. You don't want people to like listen to it and go. I don't want people like lip syncing it in the mirror to themselves at night time.
No.
Going like, I'm going through the same shit. I'm like, oh, you are fucking.
Yeah.
You having piles in your rap music?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, or some of our tunes, like there'll be like some mad like hard shit been said, and then like the next line after it's just like. Like you
farted in a sleep apnea machine.
Like, and you're just
I drank his fucking,
but
I drank his fucking colostomy bag like a Capri Sun.
Write that down. But it's one but it's one of them things where like if someone listens to the music, or even the likes of any of the other, like what do you call the guys with the podcast with the rap and it's an acronym. What do you call the fucking guys? You showed me the Joker video that day, remember?
Tiny Meat Gang, yeah.
Tiny Meat Gang. If you listen to that and think they're being serious, that's a you problem.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? 100%. That's a you problem. Like it's obvious.
Yeah, and you wouldn't turn around and say, you would just know they're comedians for one, so you wouldn't be like going, oh, this is appropriating, because they're not serious. No. You're like Weird Al, for example. You weren't going, when he's taking the piss out of Kurt Cobain and all, you're not going, oh, he's fucking. I think the most gangster person in rap music at the minute is fucking Nardwar.
Oh man, yeah.
Hunt is connected,
but he's also the feds. Like
it's like he's safe from all angles. He's like, give out enough gifts so people owe him enough favors. Yeah. But then he's like, I'll ruin your life.
Yeah.
Do you remember that weird porn search you had that time? I know how you felt after that granny neck.
Yeah. What does granny wanking mean to you?
Ah,
You're Justin Freeburn. We have to know.
we're like, yo, fucking, how'd he out of this guy? You the feds?
Nardwuar is class, and I actually thought it was like a character he was playing. I've seen old clips of him, and he's
Yeah.
just the
He's
same
autistic
with
as fuck,
shorter
like.
hair, just being
Yeah.
like
That video.
Salt Lake City. What does he say in New England, or where's he from in Canada or some shit?
It's the like real weird one with like the real strong accent.
Yeah,
It's like fucking. Oh, fuck.
he's like Clayton if he was obsessed with music rather than politics.
Hi. And another thing.
Shout out
Remember
Clayton.
that album you liked in 2004?
Jeffrey Donaldson.
Well, I sold it to the FBI.
Shout out Clayton, man. Shout out
He's
Nardwuar.
good, yeah. But that's funny. I would shit myself if Nardwuar was like, "Do you want to do an interview?" I'm like, "Oh god."
Oh god, but I don't know where he finds this shit. Where does he, like, you know what I mean?
I feel like he's got like a research team, obviously, who are like,
Contacts and shit.
They're like, "Oh, here, I'll do an interview with his fucking childhood best mate."
What do you call it? What do you call it? Oh my god.
Fucking brain dead today.
Oh fuck yeah. What do you call it? Something journalism. Oh my god, it's in my head, just left. But yeah, he obviously has a team of researchers that are like, just go out and
probably interviews Ma and all. Right before, like it's probably one of them things where like the rapper or whoever he's interviewing goes back and goes, "Were you speaking to this cunt?" And they go, "Oh, someone was at the door last night." Asking about you, and you're like, "You told them." You told them about the granny wanks?
Yeah, it's not wise. I went through a phase of just watching all the Nardwuar interviews. Like, so they're just so.
I
so
still
good, man.
every time I'm drunk, I'd be like, Abby, what do you see this? What do you see how Lil Uzi reacts? What do you hear Absol threatening?
What do you see him run? Look at him run! Look at his wee legs going.
I'm like, when you hear Absol, when you hear me, he's gonna say, "I'm gonna slap the shit out you." Yeah, it's great. Like I love that sort of shit. Like the lore of rap music is like the cool thing to like.
Me and my mate used to fucking love the lore of rap music. I mean, like when albums come out, this is like pre-COVID, like 2019. Me and him would be like, "What about fucking Uzi selling 200,000 first week?" And like be like, "Yeah, man," but like,
you have to think about like the statistics of people actually buying it.
But then you've
online streams.
Yeah, but it's only, and then they do the packages where they sold merch, and then they get a digital copy of the album as well. So that counted as all the merch sales counted as album sales as well.
You know, it's funny. Like I know a couple of people that are like that about Northern Irish comedians. Don't get me wrong. I like, again, I've loved comedy in this country for years, and then like all of a sudden it's like blew up around the time I started it as well. I'm not saying I caused it. I'm just saying like it was just sort of the timing of it.
Happenstance, like,
I started comedy, started meeting all these people, and like people are starting to like fucking weird me out with it, because like people will come up to me and know like stuff about Kieran Franco, who have never met him, and I'm like, yous are too deep into this. Like it's too close to home for you.
Yeah, but it's one of the things where you're doing a podcast, you're putting yourself out there. Like anything, like me saying about like me shitting myself 2 Paddy says in a row. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Everyone wants to know that. Like, you know what now? Like,
that's what I mean. But you get people who are like so into it, and they're like, "Yeah, he does a bit about that." You go, "Fucking, I didn't even know that." I gigged him last night.
Yeah,
you know, like it's. I like, again, I enjoy it and I love Northern Irish comedy and all, but it some people I'm like, "Oh fuck, you have an unhealthy obsession with this."
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, but fair enough. You know, it's the reason why the scene's so strong at the minute, and why yeah. So you know, the people like that are the reason why it does so well. So I'm just being a fucking bitter cunt because they're not obsessing over me. But it's just funny when they're like, "I hear Sean McAlevy's moving out soon," you know, and you're like,
"What the fuck?" Because that's the thing.
Soupy got his car sorted out. Like, 3 months before I'd met you.
I found myself in situations with like some of the bigger comedians and being like, "Fuck, I kind of want to ask them how they're getting on with this," and I was like, "That is a weird question to ask. I'll just not," you know.
I did it to Connor Keys the night. I was like, because again, got doing support for Paddy McDonald. That was fun.
Yes, fucking unbelievable, man.
Forgot that happened.
Yeah, well deserved, man.
And well, basically, so Paddy just texted me the day of. It was cool. I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah!" Ended up in the doghouse over it. That was fun. Love you, Abby. She listens to all these as well, so you know, save face. But so Paddy McDonald asked me, went there. It was cool. I didn't know I was going on to Cold Stage no MC or nothing.
Yeah, just
Was,
straight
like,
up.
just talking to Connor Keys. Met Connor Keys for the first time.
Yeah.
3 years of comedy. Met him once.
Yeah, he's gentleman too. I met him a couple times. I met him a few times before comedy, and then I met him a couple times after the fact.
Yeah,
too, like.
mate, I need to fucking talk about this after as well. Remind me, bald guy, can't remember his name, did occupational therapy on me. But yeah, it was starting, or this was the weirdest thing. Connor Keys was like, right, you ready? And I was like, yeah, come up with you. I thought he was going to go on, do like 5-10 minutes. He just goes, I have a mic at the back of the room here, I'm going to call you on. And I went, oh, I was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, oh, so I'm kind of like hosting this as well. I didn't really think that. I just went, yeah, my 20 minutes, don't go over, that's it,
Yeah.
Went on, did all right. It was lovely, just... Remember like how Pete did in Lowry's the other week?
Yeah.
Where
Very solid.
It was just the laughs were the same level. One or two big ones where like I got a big belly laugh, and then they were back down to just like nice laughs.
Yeah, but
there was no joke that didn't get a nice laugh,
But see, especially when you're doing support, that is all you want, because it's just
fucking
the crowd's limbered up. You're laughing at me. We're all enjoying ourselves. I'm entertaining. And then here's the big dog. You're all here for.
It was like boom, nice laugh, boom, last night, fucking, and then it would be like and then it would go, all right, back to nice laugh, So that was like what was good about it. I enjoyed that. I didn't like leave myself too memorable. I was just like, oh, that was nice.
But that's you've done exactly the job you were meant to, though.
Exactly.
Like, that's good.
And then Paddy was like giving me like props on it and all, and he gave me a shout out after. He was like, shout out to Justin Freeburn for the support, and I was like, oh mate, you didn't have to do it. I was like standing at the back crying, and it was class. But I was standing outside talking to Connor Keys, and he turned around to me. And he was like, yeah, man, just, because I said to him, I goes, finally nice, lovely to meet you. And he was like, yeah, man, I've been seeing clips of you and all, just never got around to seeing you. And I was like, oh, yeah, man, it's cool now. Like, it's just cool to, like, be in this position to meet you as well.
Yeah.
And then went outside, and he was like, same thing, turned around to me, I was like, so how are you getting on at Mickey's in Australia now? He was like, I could tell, like, after that, he kind of went, oh, you're a fan,
Yeah.
And I was like, shit. Again, lovely gentleman, talking away to me. It was class. And, he was like, it was basically the same thing. I was like, all right, watch the episode of the Zoom one. Like, I thought it was still going. Yeah, like, fucking hated myself after it. I was like, why did I do that? I couldn't have just had a laugh with him.
Yeah, but sometimes, though, but if it's relevant to say it. As long as I feel like, as long as you're not melting them, being like,
I mean, it did come up sort of naturally, like.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. But it's one of them ones where you want to be, because I've had a few people say to me like, oh, I've seen you on a podcast. That's fucking cool as fuck. Like seeing the clips and all. The clips are doing well. It's good crack. Like, but it's weird people being like I had people say it to me that somebody else said to them about me being on phone, and I'm like, that's
the weirdest thing.
Yeah, no ways. It's mad, but it's good crack. I mean, that's what we're here for. It's good crack.
Someone came up to me, fucking can't remember when it was, but turned around to me and goes, "I've been to Looper, man," and I went, "What?" I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So you said that in the podcast, and I was like, "What?" And I had to like go back. It was the first episode I recorded with Adam. I was like, "Bro." I was like a year and a half ago. What the fuck?
Yeah, man.
I was like, how do you know that? Like, how do you like quoted something I had joked about a year and a half ago and forgot clean about it right after it? You know?
See, that's the thing. That's why I change people's names when I'm telling stories. Yeah. Like, I don't want to out people. Like, it's not my goal. I'm just here for a laugh. I don't want anyone to be. You know what I mean?
We were talking about something like fucking Indian superheroes or something. And I just shouted Vinda Looperman. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with me?
Yeah. So what about the bald fella occupational or what the fuck?
Oh, what do you hear this, bro? I am forever in debt to this cunt, right?
Right.
I don't know what he was. And I mean that like I don't know what he was. He was a fucking
an entity.
Yeah. Connor Keys is the only person I can imagine him ever being around. You know, right. He literally anything you brought up, boxing, anything, comedy, fucking on stage, he knew something about it. Right. Like he was part of it. You know.
Yeah.
And like Connor Keys was like, oh, my arm. I've been practicing darts, and my arm's kind of sore in here from it. And he goes, come here. Lifted his arm out, started like putting his thumb in here, and Connor was all.
Pure acupuncture.
And he was like, what the fuck? And he started twisting his wrist in a weird way. And Connor went, and he like looked at it and like lifted it and he went, I can't even feel that. He was like, oh, I can't even feel that. How fucking, mate, that feels great and all. And I was like, all right, no, well, fucking, whatever, getting winding me up about this or something.
Dynamo over here. Like.
And lovely guy as well. He was just having a laugh. He was giving me props and all on the fact that I did well. But apparently he's a magician that goes around the crowd during the break and all.
Oh,
and I was like, that's kind of cool. That's fucking great. I was like, that's sick to have during the break. Just have them like, keeps them from getting rowdy. I was like, that is perfect. you know what stops him from all like talking too much and getting
Yeah.
all hyped up. I
And
was
it keeps them active. It keeps them ticking as well. Like,
mate,
that's
I
good
was like,
shit.
that is
That's mad.
fucking genius. I was like going around the tables doing wee card tricks and all, having a laugh. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, mate, I have a fucking trapped nerve in my neck causing migraines. Yeah, I could do something about that. And he was like, do you actually? Like 2 minutes later after we talked about something, he was like, do you actually? And I was like, yeah, man, I actually do. It's like fucking like give me real bad pain in my neck. And he was like, come here. And he like put his thumb on my shoulder, like here,
Yeah.
and like pulled my arm right down and started twisting my arm. And he was like, put your head back like this, and I hold it like this, and then move it down like. And I was like, right, okay. And again, it was sore. But there's like a bruise on my shoulder here.
Yeah.
And he said something to me. I was like, thank you. But it fucking made. It keeps going on and on. But he was like doing that. And he was like, "Fuck, you're a big fella, aren't you?" And I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, his other hand was on your cock.
I was like, "Nah." Stop that. And he like pulled away, and I was like, "Mate, what the fuck?" And he goes, "Hold your hands out like you're driving." And I went, "Right." And he goes, "Turn your head," like before he did that. And I went,
Imagine you put your hands out. He was driving. And he just started going ba 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 ba. That was it. That was a magic trick.
And apparently he's like he does like hypnotism and all. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna walk out of here with like a fucking like my alcohol addiction's done or something. Be fuming, I can't get a drink at the weekend, but I'm just not wanting it.
But on the vegs. It's like the monkey hand from The Simpsons.
Yeah, it gives you like a bad thing as well. Yeah, but he like did that, and he put my and I went like this, and I was like, oh fuck my neck, and then he like did that thing, and I like went to do it again. And I went, mate, no, he's wound me up. And I was like running about the room. I was like, you know, when you show like a black guy a magic trick and you're like, what? And I was like, nah. And Keezy was like, told you. And I was like, fucking, mate, how do you do that? I was like, what
You're going about showing people like when like my wee cousin or something like, we see how high I can jump and jump. So I'm like, good one. Like you're just going, we see how I can move my head all night.
It was I was like, mate, it was great. It came back like the next day, like it was like for like the rest of that night. I was like, oh my god, this is great.
That's mad.
And I was like, this is crazy. And then I was like standing. He was like, yeah, you're a big fella. And I was like, yeah. And he was all, I can tell by the way you stand, you've been big your whole life. And I was like, yeah. I was like, kind of, I've been like sort of like a chunkier dude.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, yeah, I can tell you're quite timid about it and you don't like to throw your weight about too much. And I was like, bro, I don't need this therapy session.
Yeah.
He was like, I can tell like you don't like to like, you know, play a fight or anything growing up because you were always like, you know, you maybe would have hurt someone or something.
Yeah,
I was like,
thick, yeah.
mate, I was like, what the fuck? And he's like, I could just tell by the way you're like sort of like this. And I was like, piss off. I was like, nah, man, I'm alright. I was like, don't even worry about that. Started like going in like deep personal shit with me, but just from how I was starting.
That's
and
mad.
I was like, bro, I'm just doing support here. I was like, I don't need this. Fucking fixed my neck, you know.
You need to go home and support your own mental well-being after it.
He's fixed my relationship, you know. He's like, you're in the doghouse? No, you're not. I was like, wrong Abby. She was like, hi, my love. I was like, what? It's like, how do you fucking do this? He's like, I read her. Great. It was fucking fantastic.
Oh man,
it was crazy.
You're fixing your shoulder via cock.
Here, man, fucking, I'll take it. Better than a briefing.
Occupational health.
That's the name of the episode. Write that down. Occupational health.
But yeah, man. See, I worked in a burger joint in the town, and a few years ago, and the owner is a magician, right?
Right.
And the burgers taste like fucking magic. No, there were he was teaching me. So I wanted this pre-stand-up days. Like I wanted to be a magician, right? So times were dark, man.
You need to move to Australia, man.
just do magic tricks, but upside down. But it was more just fascination. I've always had a fascination with magic, and I suppose it comes from the entertainment sort of thing side of it, you know. But I remember just being like, it'd be cool just to like me and the boys chilling out, like, and there's a deck of cards. I'll just be like, here, fucking do whatever, you know.
Check under your tongue.
I'm gonna try one on you right now. I'm not gonna. This is zero effort. This is nothing. Right, just think of a card out of a deck of cards. Right, do you have it?
Yeah.
We're gonna say it on both on the count of three. Right. 3, 2, 1, 7 of diamonds.
I was going to say 3 of clubs.
Nah, fuck. Apparently, 7 of diamonds is the most, like, people are most likely going to say 7 of diamonds whenever you say that, right?
I went straight to Ace of Hearts.
Yeah.
Too easy.
Too easy,
Go
yeah.
red one. I went diamonds, and I was like, I was like going around them, and 7 of Diamonds did pop up in my head.
Yeah.
But I went, what's fucking niche? Niche card.
But see, that's what I'm saying. People tend to go in the middle, and Diamonds it's not a heart because it's the most obvious one.
Yeah.
You're not going to go Ace because it's again too obvious, and then you sort of just go, well, what's in the middle of that range? People tend to go 7, so it's like mathematically or whatever statistically. But I done that on a couple of people before. Like we were all stoned out and all, and I was like, pick a thing in the deck of cards, and because I told the boys it was doing magic, do a magic trick, and got one of the boys it, and he was fucking freaking out. He's like, holy fuck, Soupy, man, doing all, and I was like, no, because that's all I know. But he was teaching me how to do like just a couple of stupid magic tricks and all whatever. But I think it's so entertaining, bro. Like,
yeah, it is. Oh, I definitely get entertained, but
and it's
especially when you fix my fucking problem.
yeah.
If you could fix the bond between me and my dad, that'd be great. Thanks.
But that's what I'm saying. It's what I loved about it was he would just come down. He would like learn magic tricks like during the week or whatever, and then the weekend he'd come down. We're closing up. He'd be like, pick one of these cards here. I'm like, oh no, what am I in for? And then
Boom, cured your weed addiction.
yeah. But he was
like trying to do coke just to get the feeling back.
But he was. It's called what do you call it, man? Whenever you can like make assumptions based on of like a small aspect of someone's life or how they behave. So you stand in a certain way. What the fuck is it called, man? It's called mentalism, right?
Yeah.
And you're able to sort of like, it's predicting human behavior, and like I even noticed earlier on whenever you said something about your neck, I scratch my neck, and that means like I'm listening, or you know what I mean? I'm like involved. So you can like get shit out of people by like saying things a certain way, and then depending on how they react, you can see you have to be fucking mental, hence the fucking name to do it. But I remember being really interested in it, and then just being like, I'm too high for this. Like, just stopped, man.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be cool to like get into. Like, but I feel like
it's such a hack.
If you're
thing,
gonna be
like
a grown man doing it, you need to be good at it. Like,
you need to be really good at it.
Like, you can't be like a grown man being like
dropping the cards. Oh, sorry, man.
Being like, which ball's the hand in? You're like, all right, mate.
Which ball's the hand in?
I want you to bring back my dead granda. Like that's like if you're a grown man doing it.
Yeah, I'd love to go to a hypnotist though for the crack.
I no. I don't know. I feel like I'm hiding too much shit. I'm like, you get me to say some mental shit. Granny port. Fin the looper. I know. I start weird, mate. I'm sorry. Yeah, CUCKUPATIONal health. Yeah. Oh fuck, that's mental. Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up now. We're coming up on an hour anyway. So yeah, have you anything going on at the minute, or any gigs coming up, or?
Tomorrow, this episode will be out next week.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, 14th of March, is my first year stand up. Yeah, blah blah blah. So yeah, fucking good shit.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank everyone for the whole year. Great crack. Yourself for fucking having me on the podcast. Everyone who's booked me gigs.
Kills himself.
Yeah, I know, man. It sounds like a death note.
A suicide note here.
And yeah, man, it's been good shit, lad. It's been good crack.
My mama loved her.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Long may I continue, though. You know what I mean? That's really it.
Definitely.
It's good crack. Fucking everyone in the scene, every person I've spoke to in the past year has been nothing but sound. So fucking fair play. In terms of plugs, other than the one in my ass right now, shite. Pun intended. No, just
holding his piles in.
The whole pile singular, man. But no,
2 piles.
Yeah, man. See, if I actually made a butt plug, it would be called the pile. But
it's a bunch of grapes.
But yeah, no, follow me on Twitch. I'll be streaming over there every Sunday. I think I'm still sorting a couple of fucking things out. It's a nightmare. I'm doing Terrace Laughs the end of May. Other shit, just follow me on Instagram at Soupy Stephen.
That's a big one. Yeah, at Soupy Stephen. I buy fucking tickets to the solo show. Oh, there's lights away. That's how fucking dead serious we are about this. Knocking the lights out. Yeah, actually thinking about recording it if there's a big enough crowd in. So 4th of April, this will be out. By then, you better fucking buy tickets. Portside Inn. You know where you get the stand line and you're too early and you go for a pint? There, Portside Inn, okay? It's great crack, great pints. We'll have Soupy doing a set. We'll have Adam Byrne hosting. I'm going to be doing my work in progress show. We might get another support act in just to fill a bit of time. because I'm thinking about maybe just doing like half an hour, 40 minutes. So
that's loads though for one person to be on. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
I've been to a couple of solo shows and it's like an hour long, and by the end of it I'm like, this is funny, but like fuck, I'm tired listening to it. Like,
that's what I mean, and it's a work in progress, so it's like fucking, you know,
yeah, it's chill, do it.
None of it's going to be like, you know, polished. So no, it's going to be great. It's going to be hilarious. So buy tickets to that. You can get them on Eventbrite. Follow me, Justin Freeburn, the one and only, baby. If you're watching this on YouTube, or listening on Spotify, go and follow the TikTok. We're on like 3,500 followers at the minute. It's doing great. The clips are doing class. You know, last one I put up there was with Adam and Campbell, did like 11,000 views or something. I'm like, fucking great. Mad. One with Soupy there did like fucking 13 million or something. It was the highest viewed fucking video in the world. It goes Soupy talking about do it for the Raw, Gangnam Style. That's the levels we're at the
Justin Bieber, baby.
3 hate comments on it though.
I hear 3 out of fucking however many is not bad. Like, and they're all just like not funny. Yeah. It's like, you know what I mean? See if that's the thing, man. See if I get slagged in any of the podcasts. Like, see as long as it's funny, I'm like, that's whatever. Like, still don't be a dick, but you know what I mean? Like, but they're just shite. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not even great. Also, that's a you problem.
Also, go watch fucking hour-long plug here. Go watch Shortback and What's Happening podcast. I'm actually the producer on that. You just hear me in the background sometimes. Soupy was the last guest on it, and it's absolutely hilarious. So, go watch that, because if it gets paid, I get paid. So, thank you very much for listening. I've been Justin Freeburn. It's been Soupy Campbell. Take her fucking Andy. Tell your man's asking about her. Whoa.
Press the hectic button.